Counts even now 1-1 as they got themselves in a big hole and just couldn't climb out of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that consistency to be able to come out and pitch a good game, play a good game defensively, come out offensively and be able to put up 5-6 runs.
Look who went and got himself a grounds crew shirt. Have you ever seen him pick up a rake or do any kind of grounds work?
Not here. You probably even have it at home.
No, I haven't. The 1-1 is taken for a ball. And the 2-1 is also taken for a ball, so 3-1 the count. Here on Taylor Minster, the leadoff batter here. And the 3-1 is taken for a called strike. Full count now on Minster. As
close to 292 coming in to today.
This pitch is swung on. Foul territory. The Hawks give chase, Kolak and Demmer. But it falls in foul territory, and we'll do it again. 3-2. Emily Klosterman coming in relief in the Hawks' first game today. The 3-2 again to Minster. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So a strikeout to start the game here for Emily Klosterman is the first out of the inning. Addie Weber will stand in for Cascade here, the number 2 batter, playing right field for the Cougars.
Addie batting .267 on the year, coming into today, 16 hits and 60 at-bats, 3 doubles, 1 home run, 4 RBIs.
And then the first pitch to her, taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. And she calls for time, and she gets back into the batter's box. Left-handed batter, Weber, takes this pitch, and it is 2-0. 2-0 the count on Weber. There's Klosterman standing back in. Defensively for the Hawks, as this pitch is upstairs, 3-0 the count. In the outfield, Wedewer, Vasky, and Martin. And on the infield, it's Kolak, Demmer, Hines, and Kleitch. Leah Wegman catching for the Hawks, and that is ball 4. As Emily Klosterman walks the second batter, a 1-out walk, will bring up the number 3 hitter, Haley Hannon. As Hannon, the third baseman here for Cascade.
Their leading hitter batting .371 on the year, 23 hits and 62 at-bats, 5 doubles, no home runs. Team leader with 13 RBIs.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. 0-1 the count here.
On team just batting .266 on the year, so having a little hitting slump there for most of the players so far this year. A lot of these teams are batting over 300.
As this one, a stolen base now by Addie Weber. It's a throw down, not in time and a little bit offline, so a stolen base by Addie Weber, and Cascade has a runner in scoring position with just 1 out here.
Addie Weber, that's just her second stolen base on the year in 2 attempts. 25 on the year now for Cascade.
This one's going to be fouled out of play right side. Going to move the count to 1-2 now on Addie Weber. As we'll have other games going on around the diamond right now. The Dubuque Waller and Northland playing behind us. This one is swung on and missed, strike 3 for the second out of the inning, as Hannon is down on strikes, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Tanya Menke. As Menke stands in here with a runner out at second base, that's Addie Weber. And the first pitch to Menke's taken for a ball, 1-0. Also to our right on the Coleman Corey's field is Lansing Keyhigh taking on Linmar.
That game was scoreless at the end of 4.
1-0 to Menke, swung on a miss, strike 1, as John Swisher, Austin West will give us updates of those 2 games when there is some scoring to tell you about, as Menke waiting for the 1-1 from Klosterman, and that is swung on, fouled out of play. And the count is now 0-2. As Klosterman comes set, she delivers that's going to come right back at us. A little bounce there, and The count remains 0-2, 2 away here to Tanya Menke.
That's quick action there by the grounds crew.
It really was. Get it right back in.
Caught that on one bounce, 75 points.
As the count is 1-2 on Menke. And swung on and missed. Strike 3, so Klosterman strikes out the side. As we will take a break, we'll go to the bottom half of the first. Cascade 0, the Hawks coming up. You're listening to Hawks Softball from KMCA Sports. Back into the Beckman Sports Complex, GNB Bank Field. West Delaware softball here on KMCH, softball invitational coverage. We're in the final game for West Delaware as they are playing Cascade in the 7th place game here on diamond number 3, GNB Bank Field. Macy Kleitch leading off for the Hawks. First pitch is taken for a strike. This one's fouled away, and the count on Kleitch is 0-2. Macy Kleitch in the Hawks' first game today, 0 for 4. She flew out to the outfield in each of those 4 at-bats. So she stands in here and awaits the 0-2, and that's fouled out of play. Pitching for Cascade here in this game is Lydia Bofelli. That's Lydia, the pitcher for Cascade here in this game.
And this is her 7th start of the year, 4-2 record, 31 in an inning, and a 3rd innings pitched, 31 hits, 24 runs, 18 earned. Earned run average of 4.02. Was walked 18, hit 1, and struck out 18. Opposing team batting average is 218.
The 0-2 is taken for a ball 1-2 to count now on Macy Kleitch. She swings and hits this one in the air left side. Third baseman Haley Hannon goes back, makes the catch. Pop up to third is out number 1. As Karavaski will stand in here. Defensively for Cascade, left to right, Julia Ludwig, Tanya Menke, Eddie Weber. And along the infield, it's Haley Hannon, Taylor Minster, Madison Gill, and Morgan Kramer. Catcher is Shannon Morris, and Lydia Baselli. Pitching here as Karavaski fouls this first pitch to the backstop off to the right, and the count is 0-1 on her. Hawks only getting 2 runs on 6 hits in that first game. Defensively is what hurt the Hawks in that game one today, as they had 6 errors in that game, as Karavaski watches this pitch in 4, strike 2, and 0-2 the count on Vasky.
What Buffeli's done here so far is what the opposing pitchers have done to the Hawks lately is really work that inside corner. The Hawks have not been able to adjust to what to do on that inner portion of the plate.
As Vasquez strikes out swinging, and there are 2 outs, and Heather Hines will stand in. So the Hawks changing the order up a little bit here in this game, as Ella Kolak had been batting third for the Hawks last few weeks. Heather Hines' turn here, as she's the number 3 hitter for this final game here today. Allie Martin will be on deck, as the first pitch to Hines is taken for a called strike. 0-1 the count, as Hines stands back in and waits this pitch from Lydia Bofelli. Swung on, hit left side, shortstop Menster will make the catch, and the pop-up to the shortstop will end the inning. No score after 1. We go to the second inning. Hawks and Cougars tied at 0. You're listening to West Delaware Softball Invitational coverage from KMCH Sports. And welcome back in. Jamie Vansky, Bill Logan, John Swisher, Austin West, all back along with you. We go to the second inning. Morgan Kramer leads off here for Cascade, and it is number 30, Bill. That's the lineup we were given said number 3. Kramer, number 30. That's going to be a foul ball. And do a little two-hopper and land about where that other one's at.
Oh, it's got to have a little more momentum when
come off the end there.
Get down, yeah.
As it's now 0-2 on Morgan Kramer, as she's playing first base for Cascade here, and she swings and misses at that one. That's a 4th strikeout already for Emily Klosterman. She struck out the side in the first inning. As Kramer, the lefty, goes down swinging, and that'll bring up the pitcher of record for the Cougars, Lydia Bofelli. And she also stands in here from the left-handed batter's box, as Emily Klosterman will come set to deal to her. With 1 away here in the top of the second, she shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike.
Bofelli is a .268 hitter on here, 15 hits and 56 at-bats, 1 double, no triple, no home run, 4 RBIs on here, 6 runs scored.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Bill, I told you that stick was long enough.
That's because the height of your dad was on. I forgot to include the height of your dad.
Okay. 0-2 on Bofelli. She swings and misses for strike 3, so 2 away now. 5th strikeout already here for Klosterman, as she's picking up right where she left off in that Lindmar game, where she was outstanding in relief effort. Standing in now is Shannon Morris, the catcher for Cascade.
And she's doing a nice job of throwing strikes here. She's had 1 walk there, second batter in the first inning. But they really controlled that strike zone here so far early in this game.
First pitch to Morris is taken for a ball. 1-0 the count on Shannon Morris. As Morris, freshman for the Cougars, hits this one left side over the head of the leaping Ella Kolak. And Demmer was there, but they're not going to have a chance at Morris, and she will reach first base on the 2-out hit. A single for Morris there, and that's going to bring up Madison Gale, second baseman here for Cascade. She stands in with a runner on first and 2 away. Still no score here, top of the second. And the first pitch to Gale is taken for a called strike, 0-1 the count.
Last time Cascade had a runner on first back in the first inning, they did steal second. It'll be interesting to see.
I think we're going to get a courtesy runner as Morris, the catcher, out at first base. as they're going to call for a courtesy runner. I haven't seen anybody come out of the dugout. I believe it's going to be number 10 and number 18. As, of course,
So maybe
going to have John look up quick stats here see if they have a number 18 on there.
for Cascade.
As standing in is Madison Gale again. Has not seen a pitch yet. And she stands in from the left side of the plate. First pitch to her, swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. I think it was 18, was it not?
That's what it looked like to me.
She's got really long hair, and it covers
number 10 is a starter.
Yep. They don't have a
10 was the one that got the hit.
And it's not 16 either. They don't have one of those. So we've got one of those mysterious runners out there at first base. The 0-1 swung on, fouled out of play by Madison Gale. And the count is 1-2.
And we'll have this by the end of the fourth inning for you.
1-2 to Gale. Swung on, popped up out of play. That's going to roll that way and get stuck. So we're going to have to go get the stick again. As the count remains 1-2. This one's high, and runner is going, and she will reach safely on the stolen base. Stealing second is the courtesy runner, number 18.
Yeah, picked a good pitch to steal on a little change that kind of came floating in there, so gave her a little extra time. And then we don't seem to get over there and cover that quite as quickly as we should.
Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Emily Klosterman again strikes out the side, gives up the single, but has her 6th strikeout of this game already. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, still no score. Back after this from KMCA Sports. Back in Beckman Sports Complex, along with in-studio producer Sheila McMahon, Jamie Zatsky, Bill Logan, along with you for this game. As Allie Martin stands in here to lead off the bottom of the second inning for the Hawks. Martin, Wegman, and Kolak due up here in this bottom of the second inning. Still no score. Hawks and Cascade Cougars going at it here. As Emily Klosterman with 6 strikeouts already in this game, as Martin skies this one to center field. Center fielder Tanya Menke will go back and make the catch. Almost to the outfield grass.
No, that just looks strange out there to look, and all of them, all 8 players on the defense out there
are still in dirt. As we're playing on the GMB Bank field, the baseball field with the temporary fence, removable fence as the outfield. as this first pitch to Wegman is fouled back, and the count is 0-1 with one away here, the bottom of the second inning. Leah Wegman, 1 for 3 with an RBI in the last game as she fouls this one off to the left side, and the count is 0-2.
Leah batted .286 on the year coming in today. 18 hits, 63 at bats, 1 double, no triples or home runs, 11 RBIs. Second on the team in RBIs.
The 0-2 to Wegman, swung on and missed for strike 3, and there are 2 away here. So pitchers duel here in the first couple innings of this game here, as these two teams playing for 7th place in this 2018 Hawks Softball Invitational. I think the Hawks, the lowest you saw going back to 2007 was third place is the lowest the Hawks had placed here. As Kolak pops this up to the shortstop Menster, she makes the catch for out number 3. So we go to the third inning, still no score. You're listening to Hawks Softball Invitational coverage from KMCH Sports. Back into the Beckman Sports Complex. 9-1-2 due up for Cascade here in this top of the third inning. Still scoreless between these two teams. As Julia Ludwig, the left fielder, stands in here. First pitch. She goes up out of the strike zone to attempt that one. It was way high. She swings and misses for strike 1, and 0-1 is the count as she goes down and has a word with third base coach. Now she shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a called strike 2. So 0-2 the count now on Julia Ludwig. As this one is swung on and missed for strike 3. 7th strikeout of this game so far for Emily Klosterman. As back to the top of the order are the Cougars, and Taylor Menster stands in here. As Menster, the shortstop, awaits the first pitch from Klosterman, and it's a strike, 0-1 the count.
We got 3 pitching duels going on at the moment.
No kidding.
All right now, all 6 pitchers are kind of dominating. Northland's in the third inning and the 6th inning of the Lansing Key High Lindmar game.
Well, they were trying to figure out in the break, Swish and Austin, trying to decide which was drying faster, the beige or the green. As pitcher stools on all 3 diamonds.
I think it was the beige.
I think so, too. 1-2 here to Taylor Menster. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Klosterman with her 8th strikeout of the game. Has Menster down for the 2nd time, and now Addie Weber will stand in. Weber walked, stole second base, and was stranded at second back in the first inning. As she stands in here, the first pitch from Klosterman swung on, hit right back to Emily. She bobbles it, and she's not going to be able to make the play. As error on Klosterman there. puts Addie Weber on first for the second time here in this game. And that's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Haley Hannon. She struck out swinging her first time up in the first. As this pitch taken for a ball, 1-0. As Cascade has had a runner reach base in every inning here so far. Addie Weber has reached base twice, and the other one was back in the second, and Shannon Morris with a hit. As the 1-0 is taken for a ball, 2-0 the count now on Haley Hannon. The Hawks have yet to have a base runner, as Lydia Bofelli is currently perfect in this contest. 2-0, swung on a miss, strike 1, 2-1 is the count now on Haley Hannon. With 2 outs, runner out at first is Addie Weber. And Kolsterman comes set for the 2-1. That's high, ball 2. They're going to attempt to steal, and again, Addie Weber is now 2 for 2 in the stolen base department. As the tag was late. As Weber steals second, she's out at second base here with 2 away. And a 3-1 count on Haley Hannon. This one's taken for called strike 2, so the count is full. 3-2 on Hannon. As Tanya Menke waits on deck, the center fielder for Cascade. As Hannon stands back in and waits the 3-2, swung on, fouled back. And we'll do it again, as there's still no score here in the top of inning number 3. As one more game for you after this one concludes here is the championship game. There's a 3-2, swung on a miss, strike 3, 9 strikeouts now for Emily Klosterman. And that does it for Cascade in the third. We go to the bottom half of the third, still no score. Listen to Hawk Softball Invitational coverage on Mix 94.7 KMCH. Back in to the Beckman Sports Complex. Jamie Vasky, Bill Logan back along with you. Hawks here in the bottom of the third inning. Peyton Lindauer, Claire Demmer, and Eve Wedewer due up for the Hawks. As first pitch to Peyton Lindauer is taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. As Lydia Bofelli, still perfect through 2 innings, as this one is taken inside for a ball, and the count is now 2-0. Lindauer in that first game against Glenmar was 0 for 3 in that game, and this pitch is taken for a ball, 3-0 the count. Hawks looking for their first base runner of the game, hopefully in the form of Peyton Lindauer. The 3-0 is taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. Hawks trying to even up their weekend record as they're 1-2 coming into this game. Defeated Edco yesterday morning, lost to Williamsburg yesterday afternoon, and fell to Linn-Mar this morning, or earlier this afternoon. As the 3-1 is taken for a called strike, so the count is full here on Lindauer. Nobody out here, bottom of the third. 0-0 score between West Delaware and Cascade. The 3-2 to Lindauer, swung on here right back up the middle. And the Hawks will have their first hit of the game as it's a single to center by Peyton Lindauer.
Yeah, nice job. She got ahead in the count 3-0 and then took a couple pitches, took a couple strikes, got to look at them. And then Buffelli there got a little more of the plate than she wanted to on a 3-2 pitch. Lindauer, nice job hitting it hard, line drive right back up the middle. The pitcher, Buffelli, just almost got her glove on it, but out in the center field for the first base hit.
Claire Demmer stands in, shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes the ball. 1-0 the count on Claire Demmer. As Demmer, 1 for 3 in game 1. Stands in here with nobody out, runner at first base in Peyton Lindauer. As Buffelli comes set. Demmer showing bunt, gets it out front of the plate. Third baseman Hannon comes up throwing, and she's going to throw to the second baseman Gale, covering at first in a 5-4 sacrifice for Claire Demmer. Is the first out of the inning, and Eve Wedewer will stand in. With 1 out now, and a runner Lindauer out at second base.
And that sacrifice by Claire. Just her second one. Okay. Yeah, second one of the year. Well, she had one in the game earlier this morning, but good job getting it done and getting that runner over at second with just 1 out.
As Wedewer stands in, this pitch gets away, a pass ball there. As Shannon Morris could not hold on to that pitch. So now Lindauer will move up to third. A big opportunity here for Eve Wedewer to break this scoreless game. As she shows bunt, pulls it back, and then takes a called strike. So 1-1 the count on Wedewer.
Yeah, that was a good pitch by Buffelli to give a left-hand slap hitter, just low and away on that outside corner. You're running up and away from the strike zone. An excellent pitch to try to not let that batter do anything with it.
1-1 is bunted right out in front of the plate. Pitcher Buffelli's going to fake the throw, and they've got Lindauer in a rundown as the third baseman's going to make the throw. So 1-5 on the put out there to Lindauer. That'll be the second out, and Wedewer out to first on a fielder's choice. Smart move by the pitcher Buffelli, getting that fake. I think Swish and I talked about that maybe yesterday, that fake throw got the runner to go and caught Lindauer in a rundown.
Well, I think it was a fake throw because Wedewer was going to be safe.
Yep.
I mean, she was only about a step or two from first base when she got it. So it would have been a base hit. In fact, I wrote base hit in my book because even with the throw, she would have easily beat it out. But then she did a nice job of faking that throw. Lindauer, the runner, trying to be aggressive and maybe score the first game, got caught a couple steps away from the bag, literally threw over there and got her out.
And Kleitsch fouls this pitch off. The count now 0-2 as Wedewer going to second base. Stealing second out there as
first home base of the year.
Yep.
Wow. But they've only got 23 on the year, so it isn't something they do a lot of, but they have not been thrown out all year. So.
As Kleitsch fouls this one back, and the count will hold 0-2. Kleitsch 0 for 1 in this game, popped up to third, her first time up in the first inning. As Karavaski waits on deck, a runner out at second base, 2 away here. Bottom of the third, and a tie ball game. As Kleitsch awaits this pitch and strikes out swinging, and that will end the inning. So the Hawks get a runner to third and do not score. We go to the fourth inning. Hawks softball tournament coverage. Hawks and Cougars tied at 0, and we're back after this from KMCH Sports. Back into West Delaware Hawks Softball Invitational. Jamie Vasky, Bill Logan back along with you as Tanya Menke set to lead off here for Cascade. And she's going to hit this ball out into right field. Allie Martin moving over, but that's going to fall in foul territory. And the count is 1-1 on Tanya Menke. Still no score here, 0-0. We're here in the top of the fourth inning between the Hawks and the Cascade Cougars in this seventh place game, as both teams 1 and 2 coming into this game on the weekend. Trying to go to 2 and 2 as this one's off the hands of Menke. She grounds out as Kleitch picks it up herself and takes it to the bag for out number 1. And Morgan Kramer will stand in here as Menke ruining Emily Kolsterman's streak of strikeouts as she had struck out the side in all of the first 3 innings.
Yeah, see, that's the first time the Hawks got an out on them without it being a strikeout. So first ball put in play, a walk, a hit in the air, got the runners on, but then each one of them stole second base, so each one of them got into scoring position.
This one's popped out of play as Kramer fouls this one off, and the count is even now, 1-1. We'll check in with John Swisher and Austin West in just a little bit, as I believe both games are still scoreless. Both games are scoreless over there on the other 2 diamonds. This one's hit right side. Heather Hines up and over to first for out number 2. As standing in now is Lydia Bofelli. Bofelli stands in here. First pitch to her is taken inside, 1-0. Bofelli 0 for 1 in this game. She struck out swinging her first time up in the second inning. As Kolsterman comes set in the circle once again, and the 1-0 to her is swung on and missed for strike 1. So the count is even here, 1-1. Kolsterman, after coming into the game in relief in game 1 in the second inning, has pitched outstanding the rest of that first game today against Linn-Mar, and so far here through 3 2/3 of an inning here as this one's taken for a ball, and the count is 2-1 on Lydia Bofelli. She's seen her share of left-handed batters here today, has Kolsterman, as Bofelli stands in from the left side, swings and misses at that one. It's 2-2 as Kolsterman faced 6 left-handed batters in that Linn-Mar lineup. Wow. As the 2-2 to Bofelli is swung on a miss, strike 3, and the Hawks get the Cougars to go down 1, 2, 3 in the fourth. We go to the bottom half of the fourth, still no score. We're back after this from KMCH Sports. Back into the Hawks Softball Invitational. Kyra Vasky leads things off here for the Hawks in the bottom of the fourth inning. As still no score, 0-0. See how professional I am? Has 0-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. The Hawks with 2 hits that last inning, but could not score. Vasky stands in here. She's 0 for 1. Struck out swinging her first time up. Cascade with just 1 hit in this ball game. So a pitcher's duel here. I believe pitcher's duels all around the diamonds here is 3 games going on and not 1 score on the board as Vasky guys this one to center field. Coming over making the catch is Tanya Mankey for out number 1. Definitely a warm tournament here this weekend, Bill, but I got to, before we forget, give a lot of credit to the umpires and the grounds crew here. I haven't been down below too much today, but the couple times I was, it's really hot, and those guys are very quick to get to the diamonds. Very, very quick to get to the diamonds right after the games and get them ready for the next game.
And the umpires can't overlook the people in the concession stand. Well, it's warm in there too, and there's been a lot of people in and out of there. And we thank all those parents and moms and friends and relatives and neighbors that have been in and working that concession stand. That's awesome.
It takes a village, they say, and they definitely do a great job. And of course, Matt Weiss, athletic director here for West Delaware, all of his work this weekend. He's got to deal with everything that goes on up here, lining things up. So. And, of course, Christy Ketchum with the having food, making food runs and all that stuff. We appreciate everybody who's helping out here. As Heather Hines has a 2-2 count on her. As the 2-2 is high for ball 3, and the count is full. Count is full on Heather Hines as she stands back in here and awaits the pitch from Lydia Bofelli. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and there are 2 away here. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and still no score between the Hawks and the Cougars. And, of course, the girls. It's been hot for girls this weekend as well. And you play 4 ball games in some really hot temperatures, and it takes a toll on them as well.
Well, the one thing that they can be thankful for today is that little bit of the breeze that there is. Because that breeze, you get down and it's not as horrible because you can feel the breeze. It is so hot and humid. I think my phone said 92 last time I looked at it. But without that breeze, boy, that would be, whew.
And look who gets his phone out to give us a weather report right away after you mentioned the weather.
What's the humidity?
As we are going to go to Austin West because he's got himself a barn burner over there on the Coleman Corey's field. Austin, a lot of action going on, not a lot of scoring.
Oh, absolutely. If there were 2 words to describe each of these games going on the separate fields, it would be defense and pitching, because that's all it has been over here. We're in the bottom of the 7th on Coleman Field with 0-0, and we are at the, I believe, top of the 5th over on the Masonry Field, and they are both 0-0. So a lot of good pitching going on today.
Thank you very much, Austin West, giving us updates all weekend here, or today, I should say, as Allie Martin grounds the ball to the shortstop, Taylor Menster, and Menster can't come up with it, so an E6 has Allie Martin out at first base, and that's going to bring up Leah Wegman. As Wegman 0 for 1, she struck out swinging her first time up in the 2nd. Catcher for the Hawks as the first pitch to Wegman is inside. Ball 1, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, if I was coaching, I'd be sending the runner here. Try to get somebody out. They're not getting a lot of timely hits. We got to get somebody in scoring position here. Got a break there by getting on an air. Now let's see if we can get in scoring position.
The 1-0 is taken for a ball. 2-0 the count here on Wegman.
Perfect count to be trying to take off on now. She can't try to do anything too cute with this pitch. Got behind in the count, 2-0.
2-0 is swung on, hit in the air, center field, and it's going to be Tanya Mankey who comes in to make the catch. The F8 for out number 3. We go to the 5th inning. Hawks and Cougars tied at 0. You're listening to West Delaware Softball from KMCH Sports. Back into the Beckman Complex. John Swisher and Austin Lefew as shooting things off here for Cascade in the top of the fifth. As we still have no score here. Cascade with just the one hit. The Hawks with two hits in this game. Shannon Morris takes this 0-1 pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count to her. As Morris, Gale, and top of the order, and Ludwig do up here this inning for Cascade. This one swung on a miss. Strike two, so 1-2 the count. Emily Klosterman, 10 strikeouts in the first 4 innings of this contest. As she's going to take time to tie her shoe.
She had a 12 in her no-hitter last weekend. That's up on the 12 out of 5-inning no-hitter.
I don't remember.
I was thinking it was 11 or 12. For some reason I was thinking it was 12.
As John, do you know how many strikeouts Emily had in her no-hitter last Friday? So we're going to go with Bills and say 12. 1-2 is taken upstairs. Ball 2 as Klosterman, after tying her shoe, comes back in and throws a ball there. It's 2-2 now on Shannon Morris. She has the lone hit for the Cougars in this game. She swings and misses at this one and is set down on strikes for out number 1. And that'll bring up Madison Gale, second baseman, will stand in here 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in inning number 2. As another lefty for Cascade here in their lineup. As Klosterman comes set, she fires a ball there, and the count is 1-0. The 1-0 count pitch from Klosterman is upstairs, ball 2, so 2-0 the count on Madison Gale. With one away here in the top of the fifth, still no score. Great pitching duel here between these two teams. The 2-0 is taken for a called strike. And the count is 2-1. As Gale stands back in, Klosterman's 2-1 is off the outer part of the plate for a ball, and the count is now 3-1. 3-1 from Klosterman is taken for a called strike on the outer half, and the count is full now, 3-2. So 3-2 on Madison Gale with Julia Ludwig waiting on deck. This one's hit out into center field. Vasky can't make the catch. She takes it on a bounce. And that's a one-out single for Madison Gale, and that's going to bring up Julia Ludwig. As Julia Ludwig stands in, she's 0 for 1. Struck out swinging in the third. Stands in here with a runner on first. With one away, and still no score in this ballgame. As Ludwig shows bunt, bunts it foul. Didn't hang up long enough for the Hawk batters or the Hawk fielders, to get a hold of it. And the count is 0-1. As we were mentioning before, we went to the end of an inning. The one more game after this is Ludwig's going to get this bunt down. Kleitsch is going to pick it up. She throws on to Heather Hines, covering at first base. So a 3-4 sacrifice bunt there for Julia Ludwig is the second out of the inning. As back to the top of the order here for Taylor Menster. Championship game will feature Beckman and Independence. We'll have that game for you here on KMCH. Also playing in that last game is Crestwood and Williamsburg. As Emily Klosterman first pitch to Taylor Menster is taken 1. Now the 0-1 is upstairs, 1-1 the count. Runner out at second base, 2 away. Still no score here. We're in the top of inning number 5. Emily Klosterman and Lydia Buffelli have both pitched outstanding through 4.5 innings here of this ball game. This one swung on and missed, and the count is 1-2. As standing back now is Taylor Menster. She's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. As she pops this one up right back to us. As we almost made the catch. Had these windows not been here. These windows always keep us from making great catches, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They have kept me for years from being able to make maybe the play of the game and be on ESPN's top 10.
But you still have a fielding percentage of 1,000. Zero.
Yeah.
I guess a 0. So no errors yet.
Yeah, no errors.
Thank goodness. As this ball gets away from Wegman. Was she stealing on that play, Bill? She went on the path under the wild pitch.
Yeah.
Going to third on the wild pitch is Madison Gale. The pitch to Menster is popped out into center field. Kyra Vasky comes in and makes the catch, and F8 for out number 3. We'll go to the bottom half of the 5th. When we come back, we'll hear from Austin West as he's got an update from the other 2 games. But before we do that, we'll take a break and come back. You're listening to West Delaware Softball Invitational coverage from KMCH Sports. Back into the Beckman Sports Complex. Hawks batting here. Ella Kolak set to lead off for the Hawks. Still no score. Kolak hits this ball out into left field. Left fielder Ludwig going back, and she will make the catch for out number 1. Bill, this just kind of has the makings of a game that could have us here for a while. As before we talk about that, Austin West has an update from the other 2 games here at the Beckman Sports Complex. Austin?
Finally, the first score of these 3 games. Northland in the bottom of the 5th inning decides to come out, scores 3 runs, so they now lead that game here in the top of the 6th, 3-2-0. And now our other game over on Coleman is going into the top of the 8th using our international tiebreaker rules, and they're at 2 outs here at the top of the 8th, looking to score here.
Austin, is there a runner on for any of those teams in that tiebreaker? Is the runner still at second or third?
We have a runner on third with 2 outs.
Very good.
Or Lindmar.
Thank you very much, Austin, for that update. As back here, Peyton Lindauer hits a ball out to the shortstop, Taylor Menster, and that's her 2nd error in as many innings. As Lindauer's on first with the error, and that's going to bring Carly Smith into pinch run for Peyton Lindauer. So Carly Smith in the game here as the pinch runner here in the 5th inning. So trying to get just a little bit faster runner out there on the bases for Lindauer. Actually, she's the DP. Wouldn't that be a courtesy runner? Does that work like that?
I don't think so for DP. I think they're just like a regular player. I think that's a pinch.
As Carly Smith is going to steal, she kind of hesitated. I didn't know. I think
that's what you do when you got to run at third.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what she was thinking is when the Hawks get that runner on first and third, they kind of walk out there a little bit, but Carly Smith, with nobody on, was kind of hesitating midway through the steal there, but she's going to get in with the stolen base. So runner out at second, she's lucky.
Yeah, it is her first of the year, and I think she surprised Shannon Morris by, what are you doing? And she hesitated throwing it, so when she hesitated, and Carly kept on going and got the stolen base going and standing up.
This ball's hit to the left side. Menster's going to pick up, throw on to first. Carly Smith gets a late run. Now she's going to slide in as they throw it over to third, and Carly Smith is going to come in and score the first run of the game after a 6-3 put out to retire Demmer. Carly Smith comes around and scores the Hawks' first run by either of these teams in this ball game, and Hawks lead it 1-0.
Well, that's why you put that pinch runner in there, get a little more speed in there. Got over to second on that unconventional stolen base, but then made sure she got over third, drawing that throw over there, and a throw by Kramer a little wild to third base, got by there, and Smith got up and ran home, made it a close play at home, but scored first run of the game.
Eve Wedewer standing in now. She's 1 for 1 in this game, and she also has a stolen base. As the first pitch to Wedewer, taken for a ball, 1-0 the count. As Lydia Buffelli comes set to deliver the 1-0 to Wedewer, and it's taken upstairs, ball 2, 2-0 the count.
The Hawks manufactured that run without hitting the ball out of the infield. Got in on an air, stole second base, and then scored ultimately on the ground out to the shortstop on a throw over to first, and then overthrow at third.
So I think most runs on this field come without hitting the ball out of the
infield. That is true on this one. Well, yeah. There you go, exactly. If you call the infield clear out beyond the outfielders, because they're all standing all 5 to 10 feet in front of the grass line out there, and it's got to be really weird for them trying to figure out how deep am I really?
Yeah, or how to play outfield while still on an infield.
In the grass, yeah.
As Wedewer has drawn this count to 3-1, and as Buffelli comes set to deliver the 3-1 here to Wedewer. And this is inside, ball 4, and Wedewer takes a 2-out walk. Good at bat there by Eve. And so now a runner on first again, and back to the top of the order as Macy Kleitsch will stand in here for the Hawks. As Macy, 0 for 2 in this game. She was 0 for 4 in the first game here earlier today.
First walk of the game given up by Buffelli.
As first pitch, as Wedewer is going to steal second, and that ball gets away from the shortstop, but Wedewer will stay home as center fielder Menke was right there. So Wedewer's second stolen base of the year, I believe.
Yeah, second this game and second of the year. So it's good to see that she can get on. She was a courtesy runner last year, so I know she's got the capability of doing that.
As the 1-0 to Kleitsch is taken for a ball, so 2-0 the count. Here on Macy Kleitsch, she's one of those, Bill, we got to get her bat going again, because when she's on, she's really tough for the Hawks out of that leadoff spot, but today has been very tough for the Hawks leadoff hitter. As this pitch is inside, ball 3, she's done a great job here being patient. It is 2-1. He called one of those a strike. Must have been that first one that Wedewer stole second on. So it is 2-1 here on Kleitsch. Runner out at second is Wedewer. 2 away. Hawks leading 1-0. And this one's hit foul to the left side. And the count will go to 2-2.
Well, and as a hitter, you got to go up there with kind of a plan in mind. I'm going to wait till I get a pitch, got a bell tie. You know, Buffelli's done a nice job of getting up around the letters, and sometimes they're popping pitches up. They're across the plate, but they're a little too high, and they're popping them up. You got to be pretty selective and look for that pitch that you can drive.
2-2 is taken high for a ball, so the count is full here on Kleitsch. With 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Buffelli comes set. And the full count pitch to Kleitsch. Swung on, hit out in the air, center field. Coming in as a center fielder, Menke. She can't get to this one. Wedewer will try to score, and she will. The Hawks take a 2-0 lead. Going to second on the throw home was Kleitsch, but an RBI single for Macy Kleitsch gives the Hawks a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and a nice 2-out RBI to add to that 1-0 lead. And, you know, as a pitcher, you like going out there knowing that you got a 2-run lead. you know, in a tight pitching contest like this, yeah, I can maybe survive an error, or I can survive a leadoff walk, and it'll still be okay. But that insurance run, those are huge in this kind of game.
Karavatsky stands in, and she hits this ball out into center field. She was 0 for 2, now 0 for 3 as she flies out to the center fielder, Tanya Menke, and that will end the inning. But the Hawks score twice. They lead it 2-0 as we go to the 6th. You're listening to West Delaware Hawks Softball Invitational coverage from KMCH Sports. And welcome back into the Beckman Sports Complex, along with in-studio producers Sheila McMahon, Jamie Vasky, Bill Logan, Austin West back with you. I'm not going to say John Swisher because, again, we've lost him. Go figure, right?
Yeah, he's out wandering around aimlessly.
As we're here in the top of the 6th inning, Cascade, 2-3-4 due up, and this is Addie Weber. First pitch to Weber's taken, swung on a miss for strike 1. Weber 0 for 1 in this game. She walked and was stranded in the first. Reached on an errand, was stranded at second in the third. She pops this one up. That might hit the press box in the air.
Yep.
And it does. And the count is now 0-2. Austin West has an update from the Coleman Corey's field. Austin?
We're here in the top of the 9th now, 1 out. We made it past the international inning, and no one could score there either, so the score is still 0-0. A lot of runners left on third base to be exact, and the Lynx still hold, I believe, who are they playing? Walhart, that's who it is, to 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
Is there a runner on base over here? They do that international rule. They'll still have the international rule.
There's a runner on third now.
So that's what Bill said. A lot of times with that international rule, you get that start with that runner on second base, bunt her over, and you get 2 chances to bring her in. Thank you very much, Austin West. As this one's ripped out into right field. Martin coming on. She's going to make the throw, but not in time, as they can't get the runner, Addie Weber. So Addie Weber with the 3rd hit of this ball game for Cascade. As top of the 9th, as looks like Linmar has scored a run to take the lead. So they lead it 1-0. And with 1 away in the top of the 9th inning, as Lansing Key will still have a chance to bat in the bottom half of the 9th. As standing in now is Haley Hannon here for Cascade. 2-0, Hawks lead it. As this one's hit foul. Kleitch going over, but it's going to get out of play. And the count is 0-2 on Haley Hannon. Cascade with a runner on first after a leadoff single by Addie Weber. Haley Hannon standing in here. She's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts against Klosterman so far. And the 0-2 is upstairs. Ball 1-2 the count. As Austin mentioned, Northland leading Dubuque Wahlert 3-0. That game in the 6th inning. And the 1-2 to Hannon is hit right side. That's going to go foul, just foul, down the right field line. And we'll do the 1-2 all over again.
That was close. The ball just sliced a little bit. Probably landed less than 6 inches foul territory, probably. That runner from first probably would have been able to advance all the way to third, and they'd have runners on first and third with nobody out. So
the 1-2 to Hannon is outside as the count moves to 2-2. So the 2-2 to Haley Hannon is upstairs, and now the count is full, 3-2. So she's done a great job after falling behind 0-2. She's done a great job battling back here and making Klosterman work here. As Klosterman will come set to deliver the 3-2 to Haley Hannon. That's called strike 3. As Hannon was on her way to first base, thought that was ball 4. The Cascade fans, some grumblings from them, but it is out number 1 of this 6th inning, and the Hawks still with that 2-0 lead. Runner at first, going to bring up the number 4 hitter, Tanya Mankey.
yeah, Hannon was about 3-4 steps up the first baseline when she heard the umpire call and stopped, turned around, looked, and like, you got to be kidding me. But whatever, it's a break for the Hawks. Take advantage of it. Got that first out without allowing that base runner to advance anywhere. So a nice job there by Emily Klosterman, come back and throw a quality 2-strike pitch.
As first pitch here to Mankey is taken for a strike, and the 0-1 is outside, and the count is even now 1-1.
That's her 12th strikeout, so it ties her season high of 12 strikeouts in a game so far this year.
This one's in off the hands. Nobody at first. Heather Hines was going to get the ball as well. Macy Kleitz picked it up, and an infield single for Tanya Mankey.
There's just a little communication gap there between the first baseman and second baseman. The first baseman, a lot of times you can't roam that far to the right, but if you do, your second baseman's got to understand that and then get over there to cover first, and they both kind of went after the ball. The first baseman picked it up, turned around, looked, nobody there. So something the Hawks have to work on is that little communication gap right there.
As Morgan Kramer stands in here, first pitch to the lefty is fouled to the right side. 0-1 the count. As Klosterman comes set and deals the 0-1, that's inside, ball 1, so the count is even 1-1. As Kramer stands in here, 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out in the second. Grounded out to second. Back in the fourth. As this pitch is taken high, ball 2, so 2-1 the count on Morgan Kramer, the first baseman here for Cascade. As she digs back in. And Klosterman will deal this 2-1. This one's high, ball 3, so 3-1 the count. Runners on first and second, just one away here for the Hawks. Here in the top of inning number 6, Hawks leading 2-0. 3-1 is swung on and missed. Strike 2. Now the count's full. Nice pitch there by Klosterman.
And go right back up there again. Walk her right back up there, up around the letters. And Kramer had a hard time catching up there. Ooh, that was a nice pitch. I'm not sure where that was at.
I think he said it missed high.
Make up for the last one?
Missed high, and it's going to be ball 4. So bases are loaded now. Kramer on with the walk. Going to third is Addie Weber. Tanya Mankey moves to second, and standing in now is Lydia Bofelli. Bofelli is 0 for 2 in this game with 2 strikeouts. Stands in here from the left side. And the first pitch is taken for a called strike, 0-1.
Yeah, tying run now out of second base with just 1 out. And here's where that insurance run, that extra run last inning by the Hawks, looms big.
As the 0-1 to Bofelli is swung on, hit right side. Did they say they missed the tag?
Hawks look like they think they got it.
And now our officials are going to make...
He's calling time to ask the home plate umpire, but I don't know how he could have saw it.
No, it's going to be a 4-3 on Bofelli. And we'll see if the home plate umpire saw it. The run will score. Unless one of them says that they saw a tag. They're gonna give Heather Hines the tag.
Oh,
they're gonna say she tagged.
He's not happy about that. He goes, "How could you see that?"
As they're gonna say that great play by Heather Hines as she tagged Morgan Kramer running to second base. and then threw on to first. So a 4-3 double play for the Hawks gets them out of the inning. Cascade does not score. We go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Hawks lead 2-0. You're listening to Hawks Softball Invitational coverage from KMCH Sports.
This is
Back in to Beckman Sports Complex, G&B Bank Field. Delaware leading Cascade 2-0 here. Bottom of the sixth inning we go. Heather Hines due up for the Hawks. First pitch to Heather, sees it swung on, hit out into left center field. And this ball is going to two-hop the fence. Heather Hines on her way to second, and she'll have a lead-off double, stand-up double, to start this sixth inning for the Hawks as they lead it 2-0. Nice start to the inning here by Heather Hines.
It is fourth hit of the game for the Hawks, the first one that they've really hit hard. Now let's see if they can take advantage of that. We talked about that second run last inning being a nice insurance run. Even an extra insurance run here would loom ever so big as Cascade got bases loaded there with one out, and the Hawks fortunately got out of that situation.
First pitch to Allie Martin is bunted at and goes foul. As count is 0-1 on Allie Martin now.
Allie Martin with just one sacrifice bunt on the year. Only 18. I got a feeling maybe they don't write them all down correctly. They got more than 18 sacrifice bunts. But 2 or 3 a game,
maybe.
Seems like.
Well, they foul off a lot of pitches and end up having to swing on a lot of them. As this pitch is taken low by Martin. 1-1 the count on the Hawks junior right fielder.
That's not even one a game. 18 bunts in 22 games? Wow. I think that number's low.
As the 1-1 to Allie Martin is bunted at, and it's going to hit off the bat twice, and it's going to be a foul ball. So a foul ball is Martin bunts that one foul, and the count will be 1-2 when this at bat gets over for Allie Martin. We'll send it to Austin West for an update as 2 games in the books over there. As went from 3-0 to 0 ball games here at the Beckman Sports Complex. All of a sudden had a lot of runs in a short amount of time as the Hawks leading this one 2-0. Allie Martin awaits this 2-2 pitch from Lydia Buffelli. Martin 0 for 2 in this game. And this one's outside, and the count will be full, 3-2. Martin flew out to center her first time up. Reached on an error her last time up in the fourth. And she digs in and awaits the 3-2 pitch from Buffelli. It's going to be high, ball 4. So Allie Martin, a good at bat there, draws the walk. So there's runners on first and second. Austin, 2 games in the book over there. Tell us about the 2 winning teams over there and those other 2 diamonds.
Well, our first game over on Coleman has finally come to an end after 9 innings. Linn-Mar wins that one 1-0, holding back Key Lansing. And over on the other field, we had North Lynn beat out Dubuque Walhart 3-0 after regulation. So they all went home with some good wins for both teams.
What place did those Linn-Mar finishing in?
Linn-Mar finished 5th, and North Lynn finished in 9th place.
Congratulations to those 2 teams. Thank you, Austin, for that update. As Leah Wegman bunts, she's going to get thrown out 5-4 on the sacrifice for out number 1 of this inning. Ella Kolak stands in now with runners on second and third as Heather Hines goes to third, Allie Martin to second, and with 1 away, Ella Kolak standing in here with an opportunity with 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch to her is a strike, so 0-1 the count. Hawks lead this game 2-0. Kolak tries bunting at that one and bunted at a ball, and it goes foul, and the count will be 0-2 on Ella Kolak.
Yeah, and Ella's got, 8th graders, a little inexperienced in there probably. You're bunting, but if you're going to bunt a strike, that was kind of a defensive thing. She put her on the bunt. The pitch is kind of at her, and you let that go and call it ball 1. She's a good enough hitter that if she doesn't want to throw you strikes, take the walk if that pitch is high.
0-2 is taken high for a ball, so 1-2 the count. So that's going to bring us to our last 2 games on the other 2 diamonds coming up here, the 5:45 scheduled games. About 15 minutes behind schedule right now, just over 15 minutes. Going to have Independence and Beckman up on Diamond 1 for the championship. And it'll be Williamsburg and Crestwood for 3rd place, as we'll go right into those games once we are finished here. And we'll move all of our equipment from over here on Diamond 3 all the way over to Diamond 1, as Kolak has drawn this count full now, 3-2 on the 8th grade 3rd baseman for the Hawks, as Lydia Buffelli trying to work out of this jam here. The 3-2 swung on, fouled straight back, and we'll do it again, 3-2.
Yeah, that was a good pitch by Buffelli. Good spoil on that by Kolak, trying to get Buffelli maybe to throw a pitch that gets a little bit too much of the plate possibly and get something that Ella can drive, because she does have some pop in that bat.
The 3-2 to Kolak is fouled back again. Good battle here by Ella Kolak, making Buffelli throw a lot of pitches here. And the count remains 3-2. Runners at second and third. Hawks leading 2-0. Buffelli comes set in the circle, steps onto the rubber, and set to deliver the 3-2 to Kolak again. This one's going to be fouled back towards us. And the count will remain 3-2.
Yeah, Kolak coming into the tournament was a 400 hitter on 26 hits and 65 at bats, 6 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, team leader with 20 RBIs on the year. A couple of them sitting right out there for her if she can get a base hit here.
The 3-2 to Kolak. Once again, swung on a miss. Buffelli gets her girl for strike 3. And that is the second out of the inning. So it's up to Peyton Lindauer to try to add some insurance runs here for the Hawks. They already lead it 2-0. Trying to increase their lead here in this, the bottom of the 6th inning. As Lindauer stands in here. She's 1 for 2 in this game. As this is going to score a run as a wild pitch. We'll bring in Heather Hines, and now the ball gets away from the pitcher. And coming in to score is Allie Martin. So the Hawks get it gifted to them as the wild pitch, and then the error by the catcher scores Martin. And the Hawks lead 4-2.
Good alert base running by Martin, too, to recognize that ball got by the pitcher covering home. Not very far, but, there's no backup for her. So Martin coming in and scoring, too. So great job of scoring 2 runs on a wild pitch.
Did I say 4-2? I meant 4-0. I think I said 4-2, but I'm not sure. 4-0 is our score here in the bottom of the 6th. So Lindauer looking to get a fresh start here for the Hawks. 2-0 to her is taken for ball 3, so 3-0 the count on Lindauer. Lindauer had the Hawks' first hit of the ball game back in the third inning. She was stranded at third. She scored the first run back in the fifth. Carly Smith, her pinch runner, scored the first run. The 3-0 is taken for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk here to Peyton Lindauer.
The best part about that wild pitch, scoring those 2 runs, is it was with 2 outs. You know, a huge deal there. So much easier going in top of the 7th there as a pitcher and a team on defense, going out there with a 4-0 lead rather than 2-0 lead. So a big 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Hawks.
As Claire Demmer stands in here for the Hawks. Claire's 0 for 1. Kind of sacrificed bunt in the third. Grounded to short her last time up in the second. But on that hit, she put the ball in play and scored the run, which started the scoring for Carly Smith as she grounded out to shortstop. Shortstop threw to first baseman threw the ball away to third, which scored Smith. First pitch to Demmer's a ball. And now the 1-0 is taken high, ball 2. So 2-0 the count. So having trouble finding the strike zone all of a sudden is Lydia Bofelli. As now calling time is Cascade. They're going to have a meeting at the mound as Bofelli, as he's talking to the entire infield. As the other 2 games warming up, getting ready to start, Independence and Beckman, Williamsburg and Crestwood. This is the last game of the day here on the GMB Bank Field, here between the Hawks and the Cougars.
And I think if you could put a courtesy runner in for the DP, they probably would have here again.
Yeah.
I mean, with the pinch runner, if you take her out, then Peyton will be out of the game.
Yep.
So Peyton will stay in and run here.
So Demmer stands back in with a 2-0 count as Cascade back on the field here as 3-0 the count. On Claire Demmer. Sounded like a kid crying out there. But it's the Hawks cheering in the dugout. It's 4-0 as a 3-0 is taken for a called strike. 3-1. As Demmer awaits the 3-1 from Lydia Bofelli. This swung on, hit right side. Second baseman Gale picks it up, throws on first for out number 3. But the Hawks add a couple. They lead it now 4-0. We go to the 7th inning. Last chance for Cascade. Listening to Hawks softball tournament coverage from KMCH Sports.
The Manchester
Back into the Beckman Sports Complex, Jamie Vaskey, Bill Logan, Austin West, John Swisher back with you. We'll, at the conclusion of our game here, we will pick up our stuff. We'll carry it to the other end of the press box and get right into the championship game as the Hawks are going to collide. As coming in and colliding on that one on the pop fly, hit that time by Shannon Morris, as making the catch is Heather Hines. Making the catch was Heather Hines, but her and Allie Martin colliding there, but they do make the catch for the out. Little lack of communication there, Austin.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm new to this, so I'm just trying to feel it out first, you know.
As they, you got to call it, and neither one really calling it loud enough to make the catch. Madison Gale stands in here. Last chance here for Cascade as they trail 4-0. Hawks leading. As Gale 1 for 2 in this game, struck out swinging her first time up in the second, singled and was stranded at third in the 5th inning. And the 1-2 now from Emily Klosterman to Madison Gale is going to be swung on, hit right side, and out of play, or foul ball. Kleitsch is going to go over and pick it up. And the count will remain 1-2. 4-0 lead here for the Hawks. The 1-2 is upstairs for ball 2. And the count is even 2-2. 2-2 is going to be fouled straight back. And the count will remain 2-2 on Madison Gale. John and Bill will conclude our tournament here with the championship game between Independence and Beckman. Immediately following our game here. This one's fouled straight back. And the count remains 2-2. Good at bat here by Madison Gale. She's fighting off a lot of good pitches from Emily Klosterman. As the 2-2 once again, this one's going to be low and in the dirt, ball 3, so a full count here on Gale. One away here, top of the 7th inning. Last chance as Cascade down to their final 2 outs. As the Hawks leading 4-0. As this one's a called strike 3, and she gets her girl. Backwards K that time for Madison Gale, and they're now 2 away. And that brings up Julia Ludwig, the number 9 hitter. Last chance for Cascade. And again, we talked about the grounds crew and the work they did. You know, don't get to finish watching the West Delaware game as those other 2 games wrapped up at the exact same. I think, weren't they shaking hands at the same time there, Austin?
Pretty much. They got the lattice out about simultaneously, shook hands same time, and they were over.
As the grounds crew quickly went right back to work and had to get 2 diamonds ready for a 3rd place in a championship game, as this one's fouled out of play by Julia Ludwig, and the count is 0-2 on her very quickly here. So the Hawks with a win will finish in 7th place here, leaving us only the 3rd place game and the championship game. Linmar finished 5th. The 0-2 to Ludwig is taken outside. Ball 1-2 the count now. Northland finished in 9th place with that win. Maquoketa Valley finishing, thank you, as the 1-2 is taken for a ball 2-2. As Maquoketa Valley finished 12th. They went 1-3 on the weekend. Finishing in 11th was North Fayette Valley. This one's hit left side. Demmer's going to pick it up. She throws on to first, and they get her girl. And that will do it. The 6-3 put out for out number 3. And the Hawks are going to win this game by a final score of 4-0. As we will take a break, we'll add up our totals, come back and wrap this one up, and send you right into the championship game. Right after this, you're listening to West Delaware Hawks Softball Invitational coverage from KMCH Sports. And back into the Beckman Sports Complex. Hawks victorious in that game. They will finish in 7th place here with a 4-0 win over Cascade. The Hawks raising their record now 16-10. Thanks, John. As the Hawks now 16-10 on the season, as we get ready for this championship game. As the Hawks in that game, Cascade in that game, no runs on 4 hits, 1 Hawk error, 6 runners left on base. A season high for Emily Klosterman as she strikes out 13, 2 walks, and no hit batters. And for the victorious West Delaware Hawks, this is kind of a fun stat to write down. 4 runs on 4 hits, 4 Cascade errors. The Hawks left 4 runners on base, 5 strikeouts for Lydia Bethelli, 3 walks, and no hit batters. So the Hawks victorious 4-0. As Austin, only one more game left to go here today. It's gone pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, been here since about 8:30 this morning. I'm ready to get out of here by now.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take another short break, and then we'll hand it over to John and Bill for the championship game, Beckman and Independence. You're listening to Hawks softball tournament coverage from KMCH Sports.
Winthrop Locker does home.
Welcome back into the Beckman Sports Complex. Our final game of the tournament 2018. The Independence Mustangs and the Beckman Blazers are underway in the championship contest as a swinging strikeout by Lydia Butters against the pitcher here for the Beckman Blazers. As Beckman with Sydney Steffen still in the circle like she was in game number 1 here today. Foul ball down the line, and back in is Abby Davis. Heather Hupke in her 4th year here for the Independence Mustangs. Last year, the Mustangs were 26-14 for a regional semifinalist. There's a ground ball right side, second baseman for the Blazers, I should say, Lucas up and over the 4-3 ground out for out number 2. Brings up Allie Jo Caesar now. Standing in here against Steffen. Steffen fires this one, and it's popped up left side. Shortstop going out. Beckenstead hauls it in. A quick 1-2-3, top half of the first. We go to the bottom half. This is area softball from KMCH Sports.
And back into the championship contest. Beckman, 9-13. There's a little pop out left side by the shortstop, caught by the shortstop for the out. As making that play, Abby Davis. We're one down. Now Heather Beckenstead stands in. Beckenstead in the first game today in the win had reached on an error, had a hit, and scored in the first inning. Time is called. Pitcher in the back of the circle. Tying her shoes, and now she's ready to go. As Megan Brock is the Brock is the pitcher here for Independence. The 0-1 count. Skies right side. Right fielder coming on and will make the catch for the out. Out number 2 here on the F9. Brings up Sydney Steffen now. The exact same lineup as the first game today. Blazers got that victory. As this one's a little popper right side, going to be a foul ball. Now Hermson of Manchester behind the plate. Dan Murray on the bases here in this one. As Beckman, the 6-0 win over Crestwood. And that 2:15 game this afternoon started at 6:19 here. 34 minutes later than the expected start time of 5:45. And there is a 1-3 on the putout, ground out to the pitcher for out number 3. As we will be back for the second inning. No score from the championship game. This is the West Delaware softball tournament coverage from KMC Sports.
For the best one.
West Delaware softball tournament coverage brought to you in part by the Winthrop Locker, also by Financial Strategies and Edgewood Feed Mill. John and Bill back with you. The championship contest is round out to the second baseman off the bat of Mackenzie Hupke, the designated player. Now Kinsey Fischel stands in, take it on Sydney Steppen. Top of the second inning, no score in this one. Both teams 3-0. And advancing on to the championship contest. Here to Womack Schools. Beckman on the east side. Independence the west side. Independence with a record of 22-2, the number 2 team in Class 4A. 3-1 is the count. Another game going on. Coleman Corey's Diamond, the third place game. Crestwood and Williamsburg. Now what we have? Base on balls, and going to get a runner here as number 2 will come in to run for the DP, Kinsey Hupke. And number 2 is
Hupke grounded out 4-3.
I'm sorry, for officials. Number 2, where are the Mustangs? Jaden Schultz. Jaden Schultz is the runner. And it brings up Allison Doyle. There's a pop out to the shortstop for out number 2. Mary Puffett stands in now. Puffett coming in the weekend, sophomore, batting .254, 18 hits. Playing their 25th game of the season is Independence. Two and 0 the count here. Third game of the season for Beckman. Class 3A school, Independence 4A, as I mentioned. The 2-1 here, swung on and missed by Puppet. For strike 2, we're even down to 2. Madeline Beatty awaits on deck. Slow ground ball left side. Schmidt, the third baseman, up and over. And gets her girl. Quick inning again. No score on this one. Beckman and Independence area softball from KMCH Sports.
And welcome back to Beckman Complex, championship game of the 2018 Hawk Softball Invitational, Beckman and Independence. And we're headed into the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless game so far, leading off the number 4 hitter for Beckman, Madison Welling. 1-2 is the count. There's a couple of Womack counter teams. There's a called strike 3 on that outside corner. A nice pitch there on a 1-2 pitch by Megan Brock. The first or second strikeout of the game here. for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up the center fielder, Jaden Welling. That pitch, nice breaking pitch on the outer portion. Called ball 1. There's a ground ball down to third base. Barry Puffett picks it up, throws over to first for out number 2. So real quick, 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning for Beckman. I'll bring up the number 6 hitter, the catcher, Cameron Class. He'll step in there and try to become the first base runner here in this contest. Megan Brock, her 11th start of the year, 8-1 record on the year. The foul ball at the first baseline. Pitched 59 innings, give up 94 hits, 38 runs, of which 28 were earned, 3.32 earned run average, 7 walks, 5 hit batters, 24 Ks, a opponent batting average of 360. There's a called strike, so crossing the hole now 0-2. Brock, a junior pitcher for the Mustangs. Have a check foul up the first baseline. Again, count a hold at 0-2. Sun's coming out now. It's been kind of overcast. Kind of maybe made it not quite as hot a lot of the part of the afternoon here, but now the sun's going to come out. There's a swing and a foul back into the screen. Count hold at 0-2. Brock back onto the pitching rubber, ready to go with an 0-2 pitch. Little pop fly here right to the first baseman, Allie Joe Zeezer, who'll catch that for the third out. 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the second inning for the Blazers. Score after 2 complete, 0-0. You're listening to the championship game of the Hawk Softball Invitational on KMCH.
John and Bill back with you along with in-studio producer Sheila McMahon. As the Jamie Vasquez still here, eating his ice cream. He's done eating his ice cream now. Well-deserved ice cream treat. As there's a ground ball into right field by Madeline Beatty as the Mustangs start off here in this top of the third inning with a hit to right field. Kaylee Hush will stand in now.
Yeah, and Independence coming off a really exciting 11-5 8-inning contest over Williamsburg in the semifinal.
As there's a bunt in front of the plate. And safe is the call at first as the third baseman getting there, Schmidt, but throw not in time, says base umpire Dan Murray. And the infield hit there by Hush. Runners on first and second. Lydia Butters standing in.
The left-hander, just like they had last time, wouldn't be shocked to see the same thing happen again and put that pressure on the Blazer infield.
This one skied left side. Catcher going to the fence, but it's going to get in the netting and on a play, foul ball. Strike one, 0-1 the count.
Lydia Butters, second leading hitter on the team, batting .407 on the year. 33 hits, 26 runs scored, 11 doubles, 2 triples, no home runs, 21 RBIs. Second on the team in RBIs as your leadoff hitter. That's doing pretty well there. That ball's taken low, ball one. 1-1 the count on Lydia Butters. Bunch foul that comes back over the screen, back up right almost to us. 1-2 the count on Butters. Sydney Steffen pitching again here, her second game today. She pitched a really nice 6-0 shutout, gave up just 2 hits in that victory over Crestwood. There's a ball hit right back to the pitcher. Steffen picks it up, throws over to first for out number 1. Both runners advance to second and third.
Williamsburg is leading 1-0 in the second inning. Top of inning number 2. Crestwood home team in that one. The one away brings up Abby Davis now. No score in this one. We're the top of the third inning. A swing and a miss by Davis. These two teams.
Yes, they did. They got ranked.
No, they didn't. You haven't checked the rankings. They've been updated since preseason.
Have they?
Yes. As
I'm telling you, watch out for them.
There's strike 2. I was just going to say, these two teams played back on May 30th. Independent swept 7-3 and 10-3, but they didn't have Sydney Steffen. The night before was the night she got hurt with a collarbone deep bruise, and Coach Meisner really thought that makes a difference, and here we go. Steffen gets to face Independence. We'll see how it turns out differently this time.
Yeah, I mean, when you got a veteran pitcher out there, it'll make a world of difference over, it's a great experience for 2 8th graders that he had to fill in.
There's a ground ball left of the circle, and the 1-3 put out for out number 3 ends the threat there. 2 left on for Independence. Go to the bottom of the third, no score. Back after this from KMCH Sports. Back in, bottom of the third, no score in the championship contest. Beckman and Independence, the Mustangs 22-2, ranked number 2 in Class 4A. Beckman 9-13 overall, unranked in Class 3A. The ball up and out of play right side. Or 1-2 count. Well, that scoreboard is getting hard to read now with the sun out there. 1-2, right?
Yes. It is a little weirder for your angle.
Thank you.
It's not bad from here.
There's a slow ground ball left side off the out of the circle, and making the play is Brock. The 1-3 put out for out number 1. Abby Hafler will stand in now. Hafler, the 8th batter in the lineup here. As this is a strike on the inside corner by Hines. There's a swing and a miss. Owing to the count. Here, the last of the third inning. Crestwood getting a batter on. Here we have a line out. 3-4 ground out. 3-U ground out. Thank you. Foul number 2 brings up Keely Schmidt now. Blazers with 3 wins in this tournament. So they opened up yesterday with 11-1 5-inning decision over Maquoketa Valley. They then took down Lansing Key, the number 1 team in 1A, last night. And then earlier today, they beat Crestwood 6-0 to get to this championship game. Independence, that 11-5 decision in the semifinal. 9 innings, 9 innings, right? Yes, over Williamsburg. As before that, they took down Linmar 4-3. And before that, it was North Fayette. It was Starmont 5-4 yesterday morning. Well, Popper out of the circle. Brock with the pop-out catch to the pitcher, and we're going to the 4th already. A quick-moving game here, and this one, no score. This is area softball from KMCH Sports.
Yeah, against 2 highly ranked teams.
At the Fireside.
Back into the Beckman Sports Complex. Leading things off here, Independence's Mackenzie Hupke.
And a little player out to right field for the base hit, 3rd hit of the game for Independence. Put a pinch runner in for the DP. That's number 5. Sydney Hearn.
A new runner this time for Hupke. And a bunt left side. Third baseman fumbles it and not able to get a make a play. So the E5 it is. It would have been close. But that bobble would have given her a chance. Allison Doyle bumped out her last time up. Independence threatening here in the top of the 4th inning.
Courtesy runner for the catcher will be number 2, Jaden Schultz.
That was the pinch runner before for Hupke, her last time up.
Bring up Allison Doyle, steps in there.
There's a bunt left side. Foul territory. Bouncing before the catcher Kloss could get there. Still 1-0 in the bottom. Check that top of the 3rd. Williamsburg leading Crestwood in the 3rd place game. Everything else is final. Just these 2 games going on here. All right, in front of us on Cedar Masonry Field, it's championship contest. Two area coverage teams, Independence and Beckman, earned their way here with 3 victories.
Allison Doyle, one of 2 seniors on this team, batting .254, 18 hits and 71 at bats.
As a swing and a miss goes down there for out number 1. Mary Puppet now stands in. Rounded out her last time of the second inning. Strike call. 0-1 the count here to Buffett, the 4th batter in this inning. Afler, Welling, and McDermott left to right. Schmidt, Bockenstedt, Lucas, and Welling around the infield. We have foul ball.
Yeah, ground ball back to the pitcher, but it must have went off the batter's foot, apparently. It's kind of weird. If I hit it off my foot, I probably wouldn't run.
She is
all the way to first base, and then when I get to turn around, I come limping back a little bit.
Yeah, she wasn't limping and favoring that left ankle. That's a good point for. But they're told to run it out until they hear foul.
They hear foul,
but you got to sell it too.
Yeah,
and those players sell it because most of the time, if you sell it, you drop down off your foot, the umpire's going to call it. Because most of the time, for umpires, it's a guessing game because of your angle. Unless the base umpire is for sure he sees it from his angle, but it's tougher a little farther away for that base umpire. As back in is Buffett. No good on that pitch upstairs, helmet high. And we're even 2-2.
And then that's a hard call for the base umpire who's standing out behind the shortstop.
Yeah.
That's a tough call.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Swinging K out number 2. Brings up Madeline Beatty now. Beatty got a hit to right field last time up in the 3rd inning. Runners on first and second. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count.
And Independence got runners at first and second with nobody out. And got him, stayed right there with a couple of strikeouts by Sydney Steffen. So she's really bear down and throw some strikes and quality pitches to get 2 outs here, not letting those runners advance anywhere. There's a bunt foul by Beatty. 0-2 the count.
Upstairs and inside for ball 1. 1-2 to Beatty, the 8th hitter. 5th hitter in this inning. Top of the 4th. Independence and Beckman, the final game here from the tourney from KMCH Sports. The ball outside and low there. 2-2 the count. The championship contest. 3rd place game. 1-0. Williamsburg leading Crestwood in the top of the 3rd still. Left-handed batter Beatty back in. Facing Steffen. Indy has left 3 runners out on base already. Ball fouled back to the fence. Full count, 3-2. 3 hits so far in this game for the Mustangs. 2 in the 3rd, 1 in this inning. The leadoff single by Husky. And there's ball 4. The walk. Beatty takes the 2-out walk. And it brings up Kaylee Hush now. Second walk of the game issued by Steffen. Outside too far for ball 1. 1-0 the count. And Kaylee Hush, the number 9 batter. There's a strike taken of the knees, outside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss. The slap hitter. Hush comes up empty. A running attempt at that one. Count is 1-2 now. This one hit left side. Get into left field and will score the first run of the game.
Yeah, hit it just hard enough, got between the shortstop and third baseman out into left field, so everybody got to advance 60 feet. So your number 9 hitter with base loaded and 2 outs came up with a clutch hit, put the first run on the board.
Bases still loaded here. Brings up the top of the order. And Lydia Butters. Right there. 0-1 the count. This one up and in. For ball 1. We're even now 1-1. Butters grounded out to the pitcher last time the third struck out swinging. Heads that bell right to you. You could hear that one playing down in front of us.
E announcer. But I was saving John's life.
Ball in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Come on, Lydia! This one is hit right side. Going to be foul territory, but the first baseman will get there and make the catch. Welling gets over. The pop out to the first baseman for out number 3. 1 in, 3 stranded for Independence, but they take the 1-0 lead. Last of the 4th we go. This is area softball from KMCH Sports. Welcome back in. Bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 in favor of Independence now. As the top of the order, Brooke Lucas stands in there. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Still 1-0. Williamsburg over Crestwood. Bottom of inning number 3 in the 3rd place game. There's a foul ball. 1-2 remains the count.
Brock's had some really good pitches here to Lucas. First one was a called strike, and then a real defensive swing on strike 2 on a part on the inside. That one was a nice breaking ball on the outside. Just caught it a little bit of that on an 0-2 pitch.
But she fouled. I thought she hit it.
Well, umpire called
yeah, foul ball.
But she ran that out. You know, see, that's what I don't understand about some of this stuff. Umpire
maybe she was just running it out. She thought she didn't know where she hit it. I guess could be. You're always taught to run it out to hear foul again, like we talked about.
Yeah.
But looked like, of course, our angle was easy to see it was a foul ball. There's another foul ball down the third base line. And 0-2 remains the count. Leading off this 4th inning, Brooke Lucas, who popped out to the shortstop Davis her last time up. Independence with 1 run in the top half of this 4th inning on 2 hits, 1 Blazer error, and 3 runners left on base.
Check swing foul back into the screen, so Brock really around that plate on an 0-2 pitch.
And strike 3 there
on the outside corner. Looking, yeah, she got caught. That was a good pitch. Brock had some great pitches in that at bat to Lucas, their leadoff hitter, and boy, she had her really confused on that one, and it went outside on the 0-2 pitch.
Ball foul out of play, right side. By Heather Beckenstead. Flew out to right to Doyle her last time up. And this one hits her on the leg. She'll trot down to first base. Instead of dangerous weapon, over 30 stolen bases on the year, and has not been caught yet, correct?
No, she was 26 out of 26 coming into today, and I had her 4 for 4 in the earlier game today against.
Now Coach Upke is out, saying that she ran in front of the plate, or was in front of the plate, or in that spot over the chalk.
Well, she kind of
went into it, is what Coach Upke was pleading. The veteran umpire, Hal Hermsen, says no. She was okay, and he keeps her at first base. As a throw down, back in second again there safely. And second, stolen base. Sydney Steffen stands in now.
You know, that's a weapon because a single becomes a double real quick when Heather gets on base there. Second with 1 out.
There's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. Here to Steffen. Brought it out back to the pitcher, Brocker, last time in the first. Stands in here with 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the fourth inning, Independence 1-0, and a throw down to the shortstop. The runner went back to second. Now Beckenstedt takes a hard turn around third, but will hold up at third after the error there, as the catcher was throwing it to the shortstop, who was right in the middle between second and third. The ball hit the dirt, went by her, so the E2 allows Beckenstedt to go to third.
And I'm not 100% sure Davis saw it coming, maybe out of the corner of her eye, because she didn't react right away. But I think maybe her catcher even caught her a little bit by surprise.
I wasn't expecting it, because I didn't think Beckenstedt was that far off the bag at second, enough to warrant a throw to the shortstop, who wasn't right by her. This ball is skied up and out of play right side. Count is now 1-2.
Sydney Steffen in there with a chance to, as a pitcher for the Blazers, trailing 1-0, and a chance to tie this game up if she can drive that run into third with just 1 out.
Guys at left side going to be on the play. Speaking of tying things up, Crestwood scored a run the bottom of the third inning. The Cadets and Williamsburg now knotted up at 1. Steffen back in there. 1-2 the count. Another foul ball there.
Steffen, the team leader in RBIs, with 16 coming into today's action. 4 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. So she's got some pop in that bat.
Pitch from Brock. Hit up right side. First baseman is there in foul territory and will make the catch. Pop out, 4 out. Number 2.
Yeah, that's some great pitches that Brock has had this inning here. I mean, she just really did a nice job on Brooke Lucas. Struck her out on about 5 pitches, but all 5 of them were strikes and some great location on her. Then hit Beckenstedt, but then some great pitches with Steffen to not allow that run to come in and score.
Bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0. Tying run on the third base. Ball gets away from the catcher a little bit, but officials keeps it nearby in the batter's box area. Beckenstedt has to hold at third. 2 away. Madison Welling standing in. She struck out looking her last time in the second inning. There's a little flare right side, going to be a foul ball in the fence line. Picked up by the on-deck hitter. Two and 1 to count here. Ball downstairs. Oh, strike called it up. I beg your pardon. On the inside corner. High enough for the home plate umpire. This one's a little popper, left side. Third baseman in foul territory. Puffett puts it away for out number 3. And it takes us to the 5th inning. Beckman denied it, tying this game up. Independence leading 1-0. Back after this from KMCH Sports.
You expect big hits on the phone.
John and Bill back with you. Abby Davis leads things off here. 2, 3, 4. As Independence standing in here in the fifth. Oh, nice catch by the catcher. Kloss staying with that ball, catching it right on. There wouldn't have been a fair ball. Her pitcher was there. Steffen came in to help out, but almost got in the way too much. But a pop out to the catcher for out number 1 to start this top of the fifth inning. Independence leading this game 1-0.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic confusion out there between the pitcher catcher.
There's a bunt right side, going to be a foul. Oh, no, she was out of the batter's box, and out is the call. It touched her foot out of the batter's box. Coach Humpke coming in and saying, "Are you sure?" And she gets a quick explanation. Mr. Hermson says, "I saw it, no doubt." And there it is. Goes as the 2U put out for out number 2. Brings up Mackenzie Humpke now. Automatically an out if it hits you in fair territory. In the batter's box, of course, it's a foul ball. There's a popper, shallow center. Welling comes on and makes the catch. The F8 for out number 3. And a quick 1, 2, 3, top half of the fifth to the bottom half. We go 1-0 Independence. This is West Delaware softball invitational coverage from KMCH Sports. Walking back in, a line out to the first baseman for out number 1. Brings up Cameron Kloss now.
He's looking at the Jenk book from last night.
Oh, yes. It is a great book. Number 11 retired last night in Dyersville. Tom Zink Jr. night at the ballpark. Beckman defeated by Cascade 12-4. We were glad to be on hand there at Jink Field in Dyersville for that great night as they retired the jersey number 11 of Tom Zink Jr., the late Tom Zink Jr., who passed away in late October.
Yeah.
Cameron Kloss stands in, 1-2 the count with 1 down. Kloss pops out to third his last time of the second. This one a little popper right side. Good play by the second baseman, Beatty DeZezer. The 4-3 ground out for out number 2 brings up Haley LeGrand now. Defensively, Independence been flawless here.
Well, I thought maybe that had base hit on it because it would have had a little spin on it. She got a better hop off of that than I thought maybe she's going to get at second base. Did Beatty, but picked it up and knew she's going to have to get rid of it quick, and she did. Close play at first base for out number 2. Bring up Haley LeGrand.
LeGrand, the DP. About back to the pitcher last time. Some foul back into the netting. A Hines home plate. He's a hustler, that's for sure. There's the ball outside.
Got some hops.
Yeah. 1-2 the count to LeGrand. Third hit of this inning, seventh in the lineup. 3-1 now, Williamsburg adding some runs. They untied that game in the fourth inning. LeGrand standing back in there with a 1-2 countdown. Down and in for ball two. We're even 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the championship game of the 2018 West Delaware Softball Invitational. The host, West Delaware Hawks, claiming 7th place with a win over Cascade. As that time, a swinging K for out number 3 by Haley LeGrand. Still 1-0 Independence. Back after this from KMCH Sports. This championship game going quickly here, 53 minutes in, and we're on the top of the 6th inning. 1-0 Independence. Kinsey Fischel stands in here, the 5th batter of the Mustang lineup, leading things off. There's a one-hopper off the glove of Steffen. She has to chase it down. Not going to have a chance. That was a tough one-hopper right back to her. The infield hit there as hot shot right back to Steffen that time.
Yeah, and now that gives Independence some options here. As they're going to have the courtesy runner for the catcher again.
Jaden Shields.
So now with their leadoff runner on in this inning and nobody out, you've got Allison Doyle coming up who couldn't sacrifice last time and ended up striking out and getting that runner advance. So we'll see what happens here this time.
Bunt, and that one goes off the catcher and then off front of the face mask of the umpire, Al Hermson. He takes a mask off for a second, collects himself. Williamsburg put 3 runs up in the top of the 4th, and in the bottom of the 4th, it's 4-1. What happened here?
There was a bunt down third baseline. Keely Schmidt picked it up and really couldn't get a handle on it, bobbled it for a little bit, and then when she threw it, it got away from her. Mailed it down the right field line, so a 2-base error, which runners at second and third with nobody out.
Mary Puffett will stand in now. Puffett struck out swinging her last time of the 4th. She grounded out back in the 2nd.
Now we'll see if Coach Hupke would like to do any kind of a squeeze opportunity here.
Showing bunt, getting it down right side. Perfect bunt. It stayed fair hesitation there. The first baseman, Welling. The runner was halfway down the line. I'm not sure she didn't run at her. She kind of hesitated to look back at the runner at going to first base. As
I don't think she really saw the runner coming down, saw her. She was that far. I think
because
she saw, I'll look her back and then throw, but she didn't look her back. The runner was just coming, and alert base runner there by the courtesy runner.
What a great bunt by Buffett. And the runner goes cut off in the middle of the field by Beckenstedt as they give her second base. So Shields scores the second run of the game, 2-0 here. Independence. Runners on second and third, nobody down. Madeline Beatty stands in, left-handed batter. Here for the Mustangs, the second-ranked team in Class 4A. Only 2 losses on the season. Here is the catcher going to get this put out after a little grounder to Steffen, the 1-2 on the force-up on the runner Doyle at the plate. Route number 1.
And that was just a contact move by the base runner at third. And an alert play by Sydney Steffen came out of that circle to her left a little bit, picked it up, and immediately threw it to the catcher, Klaus, who then put the easy tag on the base runner. So got the runner out at home. Can't afford to fall any farther behind, and 2-0 here.
There's a ball foul from the slap hitter, Kaylee Hush. Some activity in the bullpen down there for Beckman. The number there's at 18. Number 18 for Beckman. Tell you who that is shortly. There's no 18.
There's no 18.
That is 18, though, there is a 19. There's a ball missing outside. 2-1 the count with 1 down. Mustang runner on.
Probably 19, Lauren Osterhaus. She does have some pitching stats as an 8th grader. She's one of the 8th graders.
Okay, first and second, the runners here for Mustangs. The 19 in the program for Beckman, 8 through 12. Playing a few JV games, but most of those sophomore and freshman, 8th grader, they call them level 2 and level 3 games, have been canceled because of the lower numbers. Foul ball left side, 2-2 the count. Here to the left-handed hitter in the 9 spot for the Mustangs, Kaylee Hush. Runners on first and second, just 1 away here at the top of the 6th. Here's a grounder left side. Third baseman can't get to it. Beckenstedt fires a bullet. It gets past the first baseman, Welling. 1 more run will score. 3-0 Independence.
Yeah, I think even if the first baseman catches that, I think because of where it was at, she was already safe, so I'm going to give her a base hit.
So the hit, but the error on the drop by the first baseman scores the run. So 2 errors in this inning. Beckman trying to stop the threat right here. There's only 1 down. Lydia Butters, runner going, will steal second base. Butters popped out to the first baseman last time of the 4th, grounded out back to the pitcher in the 3rd, struck out swinging in inning number 1. Upstairs for a ball there, and just getting the top of the zone, I should say, for a strike.
Independence with 6 hits now, and the number 9 hitter, Kaylee Hush, 3 for 3. You know, that's why I always like seeing that. I call that double leadoff. When you got somebody down there in that number 9 spot that can get on base, set the table for the top of your order. That's huge.
This one's skied, shallow center field. The center fielder will get it in. It'll be cut off by the pitcher. There's just a little blooper out there hitting it where no one could get to it. That time was Butters, and another run will score.
Yeah, and the runner at second held, and then once the ball dropped, the runner from the 3rd scored easily. They threw it home, and they had no chance whatsoever. But they could have possibly got that runner at second, and she was trying to advance to 3rd. She had to hold, and then the runner on that throw home, the batter went clear out to second base on the deal. So Coach Meiser going out there and having a little conference, just trying to settle his team down. And, you know, let's get back to Blazer softball. You know, we're letting this kind of get away from us here a little bit. Let's just go back and do what we're capable of doing.
3 runs in this inning for Independence. 4-0 the total here. They lead Beckman here in the top of the 6th inning of the championship contest. They're in the top of the 5th on the Coleman Quarries diamond. 1-2 the count. And a ball driven left side. Now we have a wild pitch here as Butters goes to second, and Hush will score the fourth run on the wild pitch. That time, Abby Davis standing in. So not getting any better right now for Beckman. See how long Coach Meisner and company go with Sydney Steffen here as they have the eighth grader warming up down the right field line. 5-0 to score, top of the sixth inning. 4 of the 5 runs in this 6-4 Independence. They scored 1 last inning into 4. 2 innings ago in the 4th. There is a walk. 1 out base on balls. The 8th batter of the inning, Allie Jo Caesar, stands in now. Right-handed batter. Takes a strike. Thigh high, right down the middle of the plate. 0-1 the count. There's a slow grounder left side, and Beckenstead makes a nice play. Fires the first for the 6-3 ground out for out number 2. A run scores from third. Still a runner on second, the form of Davis.
Yeah, that was a great play there. That slow grounder like that had base hit written all over it, and a very, very close play. She came in and fielded it, got rid of it real quick, and then she's got a strong, accurate throw from short.
9th batter of the inning, Mackenzie Hupke now. Hard swing and a miss there. The pitch is dropped off the table and down the dirt for strike 2. Only 2 the count here to Hupke. Still 4-1, top of the 5th inning. Williamsburg leading Crestwood with 2 outs. Roll downstairs there for ball 1. 1-2 the count. So West Delaware finishing 7th at their home tournament. They finish with a 2-2 record. This one is skied into right center field. That's going to get down. One more run will come in. So it'll be at least a double. Yep, stand-up double it goes. An RBI for Hupke on the hit to center double. That time scoring Davis. And the offensive gates blown open here by Independence in this 6th inning.
Sydney Hearn coming out as the runner for Mackenzie Hupke.
6 runs in this inning. 7-0 now, Beckman. And they've batted around. The 10th batter, Kinsey Fischel, stands in now.
And she started this inning off with the single, got herself on base.
There are 2 away, and Beckman trying to get that 3rd one here anxiously to get out of this. Tough. Top of the 6th inning, 6 runs in for the Mustangs. There's a sharp grounder right side. Lucas stays with it, and the 4-3 put out for out number 3. But 6 runs for Independence. They've blown open this game, 7-0 the lead. Back after this from KMCH Sports. Back in, bottom of the sixth inning. A ground out to the first baseman as Zezer wins the battle to the race to the bag, beating out Hafler. Ground out to the first baseman brings up Keely Schmidt now, who popped out to the pitcher her last time in the third. Here's a little bouncer off the pitcher, and it will be picked up by the shortstop. Not a chance to get Schmidt hustling down the line. So a runner on first after the infield hit. And
that's a hit. That's the first one.
I was
counted an error.
I was just going to say, that's
a tough error.
Hit of the game. As a foul ball. Quietly, Brock has had this no-hitter. As tiring every batter except the one she walked in that fourth inning, Beckenstedt.
Hit her with a pitch.
That's right, the hit batter.
Yep.
Only free pass. Only base runner here for Beckman. She got the third and stranded. This is a hit in the center field. Beckman trying to answer with some offense of their own after Independence scored 6 runs in the sixth inning on 4 hits, 2 Beckman errors, and 1 runner left on base. Still 4-1, Williamsburg, bottom of the fifth inning. On the Coleman Corey's field, the third place game, the championship game in front of us. Independence leads Beckman 7-0. Runners on first and second, 1 down. 0-1 the count here. This is a ball that goes into the fence off the bat of Heather Beckenstedt. Got hit by a pitch, the only runner to reach till this inning in the fourth. As long as they're grounded, slow grounder left side, shortstop coming on and not going to get her girl. Safe is the call. That speedy Beckenstedt hustling down the line. And the infield hit that time, Sydney Steffen will stand in here.
Yeah, you just knew on a slow hit like that, you're not going to throw Beckenstedt out of first base. And now Blazers got something going here. See if they can combine more couple hits.
A little popper left side. And the catch by Davis. Pop out to the shortstop for out number 2. Brings up Madison Welling now. So big situation there. Brock able to win the battle. It's her counterpart Steffen swinging first pitch. And brings up Welling, who popped out her last time up. Struck out looking back in the second. Outside for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Again, a quality pitch by Brock. And then Steffen maybe a little too anxious. Base load. I got to help my own cause here. I got to be able to put the ball in play. And swung at that first pitch. It maybe wasn't as good a pitch as she could have maybe got, working the count a little bit. But, Brock's been really throwing some nice pitches, moving it on the inner portion and then the outer portion. Right there.
Strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Here it is. Last of the sixth inning. Foul ball off the catcher. Time is called as officials want to have a talk with their battery mate Brock inside the circle.
Great tournament this weekend. A lot of heat and humidity and stuff up here. Nice crowd up here between the 2 days. So, thanks everybody for coming up and watching. Thanks for everybody that did all the work. Thanks to the umpires.
Great effort and commitment of that grounds crew, all those West Delaware dads helping out like they do every year. Do a tremendous job. A lot of great compliments. About that. As this one is a little popper right side. And now getting it in the right fielder. First hit, first run scored there. Welling gets the RBI on the hit to right field.
2 RBIs.
2 came in. Thank you. Lucas and Schmidt. And getting to third is Heather Beckenstedt. I see that. We've had that today. You talked about the heat. It's been affecting these umpires, and no surprise that it does sometimes. There's a 6-3 ground out for out number 3. And we go to the 7th inning now. 2 runs for Beckman. They still trail 7-2. Back after this from KMCH Sports.
At Precision Coin.
Allison Doyle leads things off here at the top of the 7th. Beckman trying to get Independence retired, then come up and score some runs as they need 5 to tie. They trail this game 7-2. They did add 2 runs in that bottom of the 6th on 4 hits. 2 runners left on base. Still no errors by the defense of Independence. This one's sky right side, and it's going to get in there. Drops down in front of the right fielder. Doyle on. She didn't touch it first, did she?
No. Well, it looked like maybe she's going to draw a beat on it. Then she realized she couldn't, so she kind of let up on it and played it on the one hop so it wouldn't get by her.
Mary Puffett now in with a runner on. This game an hour and 13 minutes old. Getting started around 6:20 here tonight. Ball offside, running Rule behind. We had some longer games. Independence was a part of one of them. They beat their semifinal opponent, Williamsburg, 11-5 in 9 innings. There's a ball skied on the infield left side. Beckenstedt will haul it in. Pop out to the shortstop for out number 1. Brings up Madeline Beatty now. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored her last time in that 6th run. Mustang 6th inning. She walked and was stranded back in the 4th. Got a hit to right and was stranded. Back in the 3rd. Stands in here and takes the ball. 1-0 the count. Strike call there. And we're even. 1-1.
5 go on the score now. Over on the Coolman Quarries field.
On left side, foul territory, but caught. That sun is right in our eyes now. Hard to see back there. The shortstop. Thank you. Another pump out to the shortstop. Out number 2, Kaylee Hush. Standing now. The runner on first. 2 away. 5-1 now in favor of Williamsburg over Crestwood in the 6th inning. Snap throw down to the catcher, getting back in time as the runner at first. As a left-handed batter, Kaylee Hush is back in there. Swing and missed it. That one. 1-1 the count now. Runner goes to second on the wild pitch. This one's off the end of the bat. Great effort by Steffen. Did she get it? Yes, she did. The Independence people can't believe it. Mr. Hermsen makes the call, and the pop out to the pitcher for out number 3. 1 left on.
They're going to ask.
Well, Dan Murray's going to get asked here to share his view, his angle of it. Oh, they overturned it?
Yeah, I think they might have called it.
Dan Murray overturned it. Coach Meisner not happy.
From up here, I thought I'd have called it. I'd have called it safe.
Yeah, it looked like it came out and was trapped. Looked like you see the ball in the dirt. From our angle up here as well, as
it was kind of a backhand, and she came up with it on backhand, but I think it was a short hop when she did.
Coach Meisner not happy. On that one. You wouldn't be happy either, would you?
Oh, at this point, you just want that inning to be over with so you can come back in and maybe see if you got the bottom of the 7th inning magic, because that would have been the 3rd out. Give her a base hit, and that's Hush's 4th base hit. She's 4 for 4 batting in that number 9 spot.
Your second leadoff hitter.
Second leadoff hitter.
Love that position.
They are awesome.
There is a strike. Take it. I'm guessing you bat 9th for Buzz back in the day.
No.
You were on the bench. Did you even play?
3 years.
Ground ball, right side. Bobbled by the second baseman. And now picked up and thrown to first. 4-3 ground out for out number 3. Blazers got some work to do. They trail by 5 to the bottom of the 7th. We go. This is Beckman and Independence softball from KMCH Sports. John and Bill back with you. 6-7-8, Claus, LeGrand, and Hafler here in the 7th inning. As Claus, foul ball right side, out of play. That sun is nice and bright now, isn't it? Right in their eyes. 0-1 the count. They have a 1-1. Thank you. As there is a ball back to the pitcher. Claus is retired at the 1-3 put out. Brock to Zeezer. Just talking about it off the air. What an effort by Brock, shutting down Beckman's offense until they scored 2 runs on 4 hits in that 6th inning. But she was near flawless. Just hit one batter, the only batter she allowed in those previous 5 innings. And the reason that shut the Beckman Blazer offense down here, and they're 2 outs away from getting the championship win.
Yeah, she's pitched outstanding. She's had a lot of really, really good quality pitches. You know, working that ball in, working the ball out. When she's working it out, she's got that breaking ball and it's doing a nice job of being able to spot that breaking ball in the outer portion of the plate.
Strike there. 2-1 the count now. Into Haley LeGrand. And strike 3 there. A swinging K for 2 down. Abby Hafler stands in now. Grounded out to the first baseman. Back in the 6th. Stands in here with 2 away. Bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Blazers. Takes the ball downstairs off the plate. 1-0 the count. Ball all the right side into the fence. 1-1 the count. Oh, it's a comedy show up here all the time, isn't it?
Hey, if we can't have fun at the old ballpark, there's no sense going.
Abby Hafler back in there, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Here to the number 8 batter. Strike taken. Inside corner at the knees. And 2-2 is the count with 2 outs. 2-2 on the way. Inside off the plate. All 3.
Right idea, good pitch going on that 2-strike pitch, going on that inner portion of the plate just a little bit too far inside.
This one, a little looper right side, going to be foul ball in foul territory. Three and 2. This one swung on and kicked, but caught by the catcher. Officials and Independence has won the title game. 1-2-3 here in this bottom of the 7th. This game is in the books. We'll take a timeout. Post-game starts next here from KMCH Sports. Don and Bill back with you for the final time here of the 2018 West Delaware Softball Invitational. Our best to all those affected by the heat here today, and Maquoketa Valley senior shortstop Reggie Smith, who had that injury in the game today against North Lynn. That, to our last report, our knowledge, a elbow dislocation.
They popped it back in, but that's going to be tender and sore for a while.
Yeah, there was thought that she might have to have surgery. Didn't know if there's a fracture, but that's good to know. Hopefully that's all that entails. But yeah, that was a scary thing today for Coach Whitman and Kensel and company there for Maquoketa Valley, and losing a senior. And hopefully she's able to come back. Hopefully that's all it is, and able to come back. But you just hate that to happen. It was a hustle play. She was trying to make a play, tag a runner out at second base, and got it jammed back and dislocated, and just hope that she is okay. And then we've had a couple umpires here today. One just lately, Dave Wally King out of Dubuque had to leave the game, home plate umpire, and hopefully those umpires are okay after the being affected by the heat a little bit here today. As that is going to wrap it up as we start to wind things down. Let's go over the totals. For Beckman, 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, 3 runners left on, 5 strikeouts, 3 swinging, 2 looking, 1 hit batter. For Independence, 7 runs, 9 hits, 8 runners left on, 4 swinging strikeouts, 2 walks. Game lasted 1 hour and 22 minutes. So Beckman falls to 3-1 in the tournament, 9-14 on the season. Independence advances to 23-2, the second-ranked team in Class 4A, as Beckman gets second place. First place goes to the Independence Mustangs at 4-0. As we take a look at the standings here, Bill, do the honors, please.
Oh, you got it right there.
Oh, you got it right there.
Well, this one's not official. It's 5-1 in the third place game, so can't really tell you that one exactly. Nope. First place, Independence Mustangs. Second, Beckman Blazers. Fifth place, Linn-Mar. Sixth place, Lansing Key. Seventh place, West Delaware. Eighth place, Cascade. Ninth place, North Lynn. 10th, Wallert. 11th, North Fayette Valley. 12th, Maquoketa Valley. 13th, Starmont. 14th, Cedar Rapids, Washington. 15th, Edco. And 16th, East Buchanan.
So congratulations to all those area teams competing here today. As once again, thank you to everyone involved here. Austin West, we appreciate his help helping out. Jamie, Bill, everybody involved here. Appreciate the grounds crew and Matt Weiss, the AD of West Delaware High School, doing a great job organizing, helping us out up here with the bracket, helping us out on the air a little bit, helping Jamie out in a couple games today, helped me out yesterday. As Matt Weiss, a great fit here at West Delaware, as Williamsburg still leading 5-1 in that 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th, Crestwood is batting. For in-studio producer Sheila McMahon, we say thanks to everyone involved again, and have yourselves a good and a safe weekend. We want to thank our sponsors, our extra tournament sponsors, also the 50 Sports Boosters, and those extra sponsors: Winter Blocker, Spring Green Lawn Care, Pete Small Engine Repair, Paladin Attachments, Meyer Mechanical, Financial Strategies, also Dave's Complete Construction, Edgewood Feed Mill, East Buchanan Telephone, Insurance, Crop Production Services, and by County Disposal, also going Camp Murdoch Funeral Home, and Murdoch Funeral Home. As it's time to go. Time to go drink some Kool-Aid. And it is. Have yourselves a great Saturday night here. And good night, everybody, from Manchester, Iowa.
Precision